No tracking wolves right now, unfortunately, which is kind of a bummer, but I guess we'll take what we can get. And we found an area we're going to set up a blind after the rain kind of passes, hopefully, if it does. It's been coming down for a minute. No wolf yet. A lot of lightning.
A couple years ago, I came up here to the White Mountains in Arizona to look for Mexican wolves, and I was able to actually film them from a great distance, which you can see from this footage. And now, I am back up here, only this time the plan is to get even better footage. But, will I be able to find them? My name is Alan Lacey, and I'm a wildlife filmmaker, cameraman, and producer. I've worked on shows for National Geographic, PBS Nature, Disney Plus, and the BBC. Join me as I explore the amazing world of nature and show you what it's like filming the wild. There's a quote by Aldo Leopold that goes something like this: "There are some who can live without wild things, and some who cannot." Every time I come up to the mountains here, I am reminded of this quote. Over the past several years, I have spent countless days and nights looking for wild Mexican wolves, or lobos as we call them here, in hopes of filming these elusive animals. I have had brief encounters of the wolves at a distance, fleeting moments through the trees. But I have yet to point my lens and fill the frame with that awe-inspiring moment we as filmmakers and photographers seek in order to bring a moment of nature back to you. This is the beginning of a journey, and I am joined by my good friend and fellow photographer, HECTOR Morales. We started off our adventure the next morning with a brilliant sunrise, and then noticed a cowboy out checking his herd of cattle. Cattle are allowed to roam freely in the national forest lands here, which can pose a problem for the wolves that traverse this expansive landscape.
So we have quite the camp set up now. As you can see, Hector's looking for any signs of movement out over the meadow here, which got this wide open expanse to take a look, see if we can find any movement of anything outside of cattle. But I've got my White Duck Outdoors rover tent set up. Gets us both in there comfortably. We actually have a shower system. Hector is inside the shower. And then over here, we can actually use the restroom if we need to. So it's a perfect off-grid camp setup. Normally I do like the whole backpacking setup. So it's kind of, this is different. Setting up something that's more of like almost a glamping kind of setup for me, it feels like. But it's still off-grid and does the trick.
After glassing the meadow with our binoculars and verifying that nothing of interest was visible, we began preparing our breakfast. And this morning's meal instant oatmeal. And you can't forget a fresh cup of coffee. I honestly love having the small little luxuries of hot coffee and oatmeal when I'm out filming in remote areas.
Yeah, so Hector and I are back up here in the White Mountains and hoping to find the wolves again. It's always a trick. They're always incredibly hard to guess where they're going to be, even when you know where they're in particular areas. Like this is Saffle Pack territory, but finding a needle in a haystack in a 30-40 mile square haystack is a challenge.
There's nothing like eating breakfast and watching the wildlife in the distance. Soon, clouds began developing again, as during the summer months here, afternoon thunderstorms develop, part of the annual monsoon that brings much-needed rain to the mountains.
So we're in the area where we think the Saffle Pack is currently, and unfortunately we haven't seen them yet, so we're doing a lot of just kind of sitting around and waiting. So one of the things I like to do, and a cool tip, is time-lapse. Get a lot of time-lapse photography when you sit around and do a lot of waiting. So where we're at now is the monsoon season here in the high country in Arizona, and so showing the passage of time is kind of a critical thing to sitting and waiting for wolves, since that's part of the story. So getting the monsoon clouds developing, moving across the landscape is a cool little thing to do. So right now I've got this cool frame set up, the tops of the pine trees and the monsoon thunderheads moving through. So we'll see how this turns out.
The monsoon storms continued to build, turning darker and darker. Soon, we could hear thunder in the distance. And it didn't take long until it began to rain. And then the storm really rolled in.
All right, so you can tell, sitting under shelter right now, it just started to pour. Hector is sitting right over there, actually, which, here, I'll show you. Hector's right over there. And it is coming down pretty good. It's not insane, but I just got some good drips on me. But thunder and lightning, and it rained pretty much all last night, and now the storm's building up again, so no tracking wolves right now, unfortunately, which is kind of a bummer, but I guess we'll take what we can get. And we found an area we're going to set up a blind after the rain kind of passes, hopefully, if it does, where we can get some good mountain bluebird and just western bluebird, etc. And then we move around this area. So hopefully the rain stops and we can get that set up. But in the meantime, it's just sit and wait out the storm.
Even amidst the downpour, nature still has a way of surprising you. A bluebird landed on a branch in front of us, and Hector could not pass up a spectacular opportunity. If you like this photo, you can follow my friend Hector Morales or check out his online store at moralesphotos.com. You might be curious what tent I'm using here. This is the Rover Scout from White Duck Outdoors. I purchased this tent last year, and it has kept me incredibly dry in some pretty intense rainstorms like this. Soon, the rain began to lighten up, and the bluebirds began getting super active. Luckily, we had set up the blinds prior to the rain, so the bluebirds would have time to get used to them sitting near a frequented perch location. So we headed to the blinds, in hopes of capturing some dynamic shots of these little birds.
Quite a bit of work, but our goal is to try to get some of these bluebirds that are frequently on this dead log that's fallen over in front of us here. So the blind's been sitting here for a while. They've been getting acclimated to it. Now that it's finally stopped raining, it's go time. Something on the right. I hear on the right, but I'm not seeing anything at the moment.
And just like all other wildlife-related shoots, the key to success is patience. There is a lot of sitting, waiting, and often failed attempts. But if you wait long enough, eventually your patience will pay off, and nature will reward you with a moment. It didn't take too long after sitting in the blind before the action started. A green-tailed towhee soon hopped right in front of us and began checking us out, looking for little insects along the dead branches. And then the bluebirds showed up. A family of them. Two young fledglings in hot pursuit of mom, who had just uncovered a juicy worm after the recent rains. And to the victor go the spoils. Next, a yellow-rumped warbler landed in the pine boughs in front of us and began preening its feathers. Soon joined by the green-tailed towhee again. One of the cuter moments was when this little gray-collared chipmunk decided to eat its meal on a nearby stump, intently watching its surroundings, waiting for any sign of danger. But it was just the bluebirds and the chipmunk. I always enjoy taking a moment to get a glimpse into the inner world of wildlife, and watching this chipmunk just sit there, enjoying its meal and doing what chipmunks do, was really an amazing experience. But eventually, we heard a very peculiar sound, and soon discovered a prairie falcon was watching. But luckily, the chipmunk was able to live yet another day. That evening, we were graced with some pretty spectacular light. My only wish was that instead of filming these cows, we were filming wolves, or at least some elk instead. As the sun began to set, I couldn't help but think about the importance of nature, how we are all connected to it. Spending time here, deep in the wilds of the White Mountains, where the howls of coyotes and wolves dance through the night, it is how it is meant to be. Sharing these moments with good friends, enjoying life the way it should be lived out in nature, that is the idea of paradise to me. And although we didn't find any Mexican wolves on this excursion, I am dedicated in my resolve to one day capture never-before-seen footage of them in the wild. So stay tuned, as this is only just the beginning. I will be returning here very soon. If you like this episode, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel if you enjoy stories like this. This channel is proudly supported by viewers like you, so if you would like to watch more stories like this, consider becoming part of the Filming the Wild family over on Patreon, where I have even more experiences tailored just for you. Patreon is the perfect place to support your favorite creators, and it's also a great way to stay in touch with me. Plus, you can also see what I'm up to next and what my next adventures will be even before I share them here on YouTube. In the meantime, I would love to hear from you. What did you enjoy the most about this adventure? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have ever thought about going to look for wolves, or would ever be interested in something like this, reach out. I've been considering leading a camping trip here in wolf country. And who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and see a wild lobo. I wanted to leave you guys with this final quote, and it's a powerful one. Again, from Aldo Leopold. It says, "We abuse land because we regard it as a commodity belonging to us. When we see land as a community to which we belong, we may begin to use it with love and respect." In the meantime, keep an eye out for the next episode of Filming the Wild.